Hi folks, please excuse the sweat and the tired look on my face. I just finished a brief workout. And I wanted to kind of like just share an idea. Well, it's not so much an idea, it's a thing I've been practicing for quite some time. But I wanted to share my thoughts on why emotional valence or behavioralism is very important in what we do. Or from my point of view anyway, it's up for debate for anybody else, but this is what I believe. So unless you've got emotional valence in something you're doing, it's not going to mean anything to you. So this is why kata, form, combinations, those type of things can look different from different points of view, from different arts and whatnot. But also because the emotional valence part of it, the important part of that is because it changes your physiology and your perception of reality and anchors those combinations or those physical actions in that part of your persona at that time. Now, if you don't understand that going into a martial arts dojo or into a boxing a club or any type of setting like that, chances are you're not going to be able to turn it off when you leave, which can be quite dangerous. Now, in religions, they understand this because if you notice, for those who go to church and whatnot, I don't, because of my own personal belief system. But when you do go into a church, I recognize ceremony for being very important. I mean, when you identificate, if I'm saying that correctly, when you go into like a Catholic church or even the High Church, High Church of England, and into Islamic temples and etc. There's certain things that you do to change your perception of reality when you go in. Now, a lot of people play lip service to this when they go and do this, but for those who really know what they're doing, they're actually turning on something inside themselves, and that's very important. And what you'll do is you'll see that in professional athletes where they take on a different persona. They do a couple of things for ceremonial purposes, whatever it is. I mean, we could call it ceremonial purposes. For them, they could just be like, just get themselves jacked up. Well, that's ceremony. And then they take on this persona to get in and do what they do. Mike Tyson, for one of them, has spoken openly about that, and so have a few other boxers. And if you see what actors do, they do the same thing to elicit that emotional response they need for the moment at time. Now, that's all very powerful. So when you're breathless and able to speak, your body is in a similar state as that of an episode in your life which is worthy of memory, such as a near-death experience or being very excited, watching something scary happen, numerous things like that, when your heart rate becomes high and adrenaline is present. And there's a lot more information out there which I'm probably going to bastardize completely when I try to sort of explain it from what I understand. But adrenaline not only increases your heart rate, and that it's also a memory fixer as well. So it anchors memory into your mind. And also what elicited that, so anything which is similar to that. So in for example, if somebody in school jumped you and they had on a certain t-shirt, and that color t-shirt you see 30 years later somebody else wearing, and you, for some unknown reason, you just do not like that guy and you can't figure out why. That's why. So when we're breathless and able to speak, it's important to make sure that we are on task. Our intent is there. That way we can develop new emotional memory engrams, apparently. I did ask a couple of psychologists about that, and they agreed with me. So there you go. Be careful what you say when you train, be careful what you think when you train, and be careful what you feel when you train, because all those things are going to be locked into where they are. So when you work out, get yourself breathless and able to speak. Start putting in the more technical drills as you come down out of that area. So like heavy impact training on the bag, stuff like that. On the slope coming down to get your breath back, because you can't go 100% all of the time. As your breath starts to come back, that's when you start putting in a tactile awareness drills. And then when you start able to chat again and you start getting a bit bit mouthy with your, having a bit of a laugh and whatnot, that means you've got oxygen present. And if you've only got an hour to train, you want to get your heart rate back up again. So do something more physical, and then bring it down again and up again and down again, and finish off at the end of a nice cool down. This is a really good way to maintain that band at the top, the golden zone, training zone, for the emotional part and the physical part, to put all the things together at the right time, at the right place, for the right reason. If you've got any more questions, give me a shout. Edges out, stay sharp.